Welcome to the Curious Head channel. Here you will find a variety of interesting facts and amazing stories on a variety of topics. Subscribe now so you don't miss any updates. According to a recent report by the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime, the great apes in Africa are confronted with severe threats such as habitat destruction, poaching for bushmeat, and an emerging trend of being targeted for international pet trade and zoo attractions. Unfortunately, this issue has largely gone unnoticed by most organizations entrusted with the responsibility of protecting Africa's great apes, including chimpanzees, bonobos, and 2 species of gorillas. All 4 of these species are currently endangered, with some facing critical endangerment, and they are safeguarded by both national and international laws. However, due to the lack of monitoring of ape seizures by governments and organizations, it is challenging to fully comprehend the extent of the threat posed by poaching for the live animal trade. The report's author, Daniel Stiles, an independent wildlife trade investigator based in Kenya, points out that there is compelling circumstantial evidence suggesting that the problem is significant and escalating. Iris Ho, the head of campaigns and policy at the Pan-African Site-uri Alliance, PASA, a non-profit coalition consisting of 23 primate sanctuaries across 13 African countries, who was interviewed for the report, emphasizes that international policymakers, conservation organizations, and donor governments have not fully comprehended the alarming magnitude of the illegal trade involving African great apes. Daniel Stiles, working alongside a network of undercover investigators and informants, has observed a surge in the advertisement of live baby great apes on platforms like WhatsApp and social media. From 2015, he has documented 593 ads for great apes, posted by 131 individuals in 17 countries. The prices for these animals have quadrupled compared to a decade ago, with chimpanzees now being sold for up to $100,000. Bonobos for up to $300,000, and gorillas for up to $550,000. It's important to note that the report does not cover orangutans, which reside in Malaysia and Indonesia. The majority of African apes are destined for countries such as China, Pakistan, Libya, and the Gulf states, particularly the United Arab Emirates, where they are acquired as pets or increasingly become attractions in private zoos. Stiles reports that approximately 10,000 zoos have opened in China between 2013 and 2020, nearly doubling the total number. Locally registered zoos find it easier to obtain import permits for strictly protected species than individual citizens, which contributes to the proliferation of zoos. Stiles explains, registered zoos provide legal cover in the guise of rescue or conservation centers and also offer facilities for laundering animals smuggled in and sold as captive bred. In most countries, once a wildlife facility is registered with local authorities, it can be referred to as a zoo, rescue or conservation center, or sanctuary, according to Stiles. Another indicator of increasing demand is the rising number of young apes taken in by PASA-accredited wildlife sanctuaries in Africa since 2019, as noted by Iris Ho. These sanctuaries, under the Pan-African Site-uri Alliance, PASA, currently care for over 1,100 chimpanzees, the majority of which were confiscated from traders. However, these sanctuaries are already operating at full capacity, and they are all facing financial constraints. Traders primarily acquire baby apes from the Democratic Republic of Congo and West African countries, particularly Guinea. For each kidnapped baby chimp, poachers typically kill 6 to 7 adult apes. Additionally, experts estimate that for every animal that reaches buyers abroad, 5 to 10 babies die from injuries, illness, or mistreatment. The report highlights that some traders smuggle great apes out of Africa by including them in legal shipments of monkeys or birds. However, there is a growing trend of these animals being transported to registered zoos, including those in South Africa. There is evidence suggesting that these facilities obtain legal export permits for wild-caught great apes by falsely claiming that the animals were bred in captivity. I was tired of battling the bureaucracy, writes Stiles, highlighting the lack of significant efforts to address the emerging illegal trade trend. He notes that 3 crucial international groups responsible for protecting great apes have failed to give serious attention to the problem. The Great Apes Survival Partnership, GRASP, a United Nations alliance that includes combating illegal trade among its priorities, has become largely dysfunctional, according to Doug Kress, its former leader. Kress resigned in 2016 due to the lack of priority given to the issue by the UN agencies involved. Johannes Reh-Fisch, the current leader of GRASP, claims that halting illegal trade is a priority for the organization. He points to an ape seizure database launched in 2016 as their main tool to understand the drivers of illegal trade and address them effectively. However, Stiles encountered significant obstacles when requesting access to GRASP's database. The report he received in August 2022 was deemed useless, lacking essential data and details. Reh-Fisch declined the request to view the database. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, the global authority on endangered species, has a dedicated expert group for great apes but does not prioritize illegal trade, as stated by Stiles. This contrasts with specialist groups for other species under the IUCN, which actively report on illegal trade. Stiles points out the impact of such reporting on raising awareness, using the example of pangolins. He expresses disbelief that similar efforts are not being made for great apes. Dirk Byler, the vice chair and coordinator of the IUCN group, did not respond to a request for comment. Stiles reports that CITES, the global treaty responsible for preventing international wildlife trade from threatening species survival, lacks a working group specifically dedicated to great apes. In the previous CITES conference, great apes were not even included on the agenda, despite their international trade implications falling under CITES jurisdiction. Ben Jans van Rensburg, the chief of the enforcement unit at the CITES Secretariat, states that individual countries are responsible for ensuring legal trade in protected species and that the Secretariat provides factual background when concerns are raised. Stiles counters this claim in his report, stating that representatives from Niger, Ivory Coast, Kenya, and Uganda attempted to establish a CITES working group for great apes in 2014 and 2016, but their requests were refused by the chair of the meeting. Iris Ho adds that in March 2022, Gabon, supported by Senegal, Guinea, and Nigeria, requested, to no avail, that great apes be included on the agenda for the CITES conference later that year. She mentions that the United States also emphasized the importance of addressing this issue. Stiles warns that without coordinated global action, the problem will continue to worsen. He even observes signs of great ape trade spreading to India. He emphasizes the urgency of the international community taking the trafficking of great apes seriously to ensure the survival of our closest relatives. Thanks for watching the video. Sign up and leave a like until the next video.